I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your man TP. We have hit number 219 on our compilation list. For this compilation, we will be in 3 different courtrooms. Before I give you the names of those courtrooms, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It is always helpful to us here on the channel. Also, commentary will be left in where commentary was previously when these were aired. Also, there will be chapters added for your convenience, just in case you want to jump around or you may have seen another case before. And remember, guys, these are compilations. Some people have seen some of the cases, some have not. It's just like watching cable TV. You flip to a channel, especially something like Law and Order. You may have seen that episode before. You don't message them and say, oh, I've seen that episode before. No, you move on and you find an episode that you didn't see. So that's why we add chapters for your convenience. Now, let me give you the rundown of the judges' courtrooms that we will be in. First, we will be in the courtroom of Judge Knowles out of the state of Indiana. Second, we will be in Thurston County District Court in the state of Washington for our second proceeding. Last but not least, we will be in the courtroom of Magistrate Hilary Braley out of the state of Michigan. As always, I appreciate you guys for joining me. Keep on dropping those comments down in the comment section. And I'm so glad to bring these compilations to you guys because what I was saying before, some of you have seen some of them, some of you have not, and you have been expressing that. So we're just going to keep on dropping them for you. But thank you once again, and let's go ahead and jump into 219.
Number 15, Alan Waddell. Thank you for being patient for the last people who were in the docket. Thank you.
Front and center.
All right, so we have you here on a no valid operator's license. It looks like I'm still showing that it is expired. So what would you like to tell me today about the infraction?
Well, I'd like, Your Honor, if the court pleases, to certify the bond of subrogation, if you please.
Certify the bond of...
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you... So what would you like me to have certified?
The bond of subrogation.
What is the bond of subrogation?
You don't know?
Why don't you inform me? Is there a document that you have?
I can have the Justice Department send you one.
For what?
The bond of subrogation.
So, a subrogation agreement?
Subrogation is a bond.
Correct?
That's a bond that you place on my name.
I have not placed any bond on your name.
Well, this municipality most likely has.
You are Alan Lee Waddell?
Correct.
Okay. And so there's...
See, when this court is, if you hammer me, all that money in that bond goes to the IMF.
There is no bond. There's an infraction with a fine amount. So if that's what you want to tell me today, we're here for a contested hearing. I haven't heard anything that...
Latches and curs. Are you familiar with the Constitution? Latches and curs, right? I motion to dismiss.
Okay, motion to dismiss on what grounds?
On grounds that you do not know what you're doing. I'm sorry, Your Honor, you're supposed to know the law.
Okay.
Latches and curs.
All right. What legal authority do you have for your motion to dismiss beyond you don't think I know what I'm doing?
That will come from the Justice Department, Your Honor.
All right. Do you were stopped on February 25th, 2026?
According to Eric, the Kelso cop.
Okay.
Is he present? Is Eric present?
Did you subpoena him?
I did, and
Did you file
I
proof of
also
service of the subpoena?
Excuse me?
Did you file proof of service of the subpoena?
I did. I filed a notice of liability.
That's not a service of proof of service.
It's a certified sign. It's a signed affidavit.
What signed
have that.
affidavit do you?
It's supposed to be in your possession.
I have it.
Okay. Have you read it?
Yes,
It's notarized.
Okay.
It's a notarized affidavit.
Indiana Bill of Rights. None of this is binding on this court.
Those are case law, Supreme Court case law. Standing.
Indiana Article 1 Bill of Rights is not case law.
Well, we're applying it to.
We are not applying Indiana Bill of Rights to Washington.
Your name will appear here.
All right. Mr. Waddell, I have in front of me the officer's narrative indicating that he stopped you on February 25th, 2026, driving a maroon Chrysler PT Cruiser on the northbound 1400 block of South Pacific Avenue with its left and center brake light not functioning, initiated the traffic stop, identified himself verbally as Alan Waddell, stated he left his insurance back at his house and was unable to provide proof of insurance. The check of his DOL showed that it expired September 22nd, 2022. The photograph on Waddell's DOL record matched the driver, confirming his identity, and he issued the infraction. And you were warned about not having insurance and not having brake lights active. All right.
I informed the officer, Your Honor, at the time that there is no contract. The contract, the license, which is a contract, has expired almost 5 years ago.
Yet you were driving.
There is no contract.
You were driving on a public road. Okay. I'm going to find the infraction committed at the full amount of $564.
I will have to recommend it. I must recuse you, Your Honor.
You can file that with.
I'm motioning for a mistrial, and I'm going to recuse you.
Okay, I'm
from this
denying
case.
those motions as they are not timely nor relevant at this point.
The
So your infraction
Constitution-
has been committed. If you'd like to file motions to
You are in
appeal
direct
this,
violation
go
of the
ahead.
constitutional rights, Your Honor.
All right,
You
Mr.
are
Waddell, that'll be all for today.
It's here for arraignment on two matters. They're all from the same date. They're all right. I see. So case number 3A 0257205, State versus Muhammad Idris. Charges vehicle operator refused to comply with the police officer. There are two infraction charges as well. 3A 0096934. It's violation of a special trip permit. And 3A 0096933. Failure to obey traffic control device and failure to renew his expired registration on a vehicle. Mr. Kale, any contact from Mr. Idris?
Either Mr. Idris or a representative of Mr. Idris is present on Zoom, Your Honor. And I believe he may tend to proceed pro se, or at least without the assistance of public defense. So I would ask the court to inquire with him about that.
I will. So on the screen listed as Muhammad, authorized representative for Muhammad Idris. Is that right?
First of all, I object to public defender saying that I'm pro se, which I am not. I'm the authorized representative on behalf of the estate. And I would like to request for continuance due to I made a request for discovery, and there was no email provided to me. And I was informed that only a phone number is available. And I called that phone number, and there was no answer. And I did not get any voicemail. And out of the 3 cases, I only received notice for 2. One is missing. I don't have the paperwork for that. Due for that reason, I would like to get a continuous.
All right, so let's start with this. Are you Muhammad Idris? Let's get the name straight to begin with.
That's the estate on the trust. I'm the authorized representative on behalf of the estate that the court is trying to administrate.
Well, the state's not charging the estate. The state is charging Muhammad Idris. So that's who we need to address. Is that you, is my question.
I object. If I have a question for, that's a question for the prosecutor, correct?
Well, you're here asking for a continuance because you want something else. I have to know who it is that is requesting the continuance and how you speak on behalf of Muhammad Idris.
I'm the authorized representative of the estate. Like my family name is Idris, given name Muhammad Ismail, for the estate, which is Muhammad Ismail Idris, estate on a trust.
All right. As I say, the estate is not being charged with the criminal offense. Muhammad Ismail Idris is being charged with criminal offenses. Now, you indicate that you only got 2 of the 3 notices. Which charges did you get notice of? Did you get notice for the failure to obey traffic signal?
I object to you're saying this has nothing to do with the estate. It has everything to do with the estate and the trust that's being charged.
Well, not to be argumentative, Mr. Idris, but the estate wasn't driving the vehicle. I suspect the city is, or the state will try to prove that Muhammad Idris was driving the vehicle. That's their job in this case.
I object. That's a hearsay. The court is assuming and presuming that's the case, which is not. So if you can continue with the continuous, I'll appreciate it.
Well, I'm going to ask the city, or the state rather, to establish probable cause at this time on the charge ending in, or the case number ending in 7205, which is the vehicle operator refusing to comply with the officer. You've already been sworn, Ms. Mann, so we'll go ahead.
The charge of refusal to give information on May 11th, 2023, Officer Kelsler responded to a request for assistance from Officer Turner, who had performed a traffic stop on a commercial motor vehicle that was traveling in a left lane prohibited for CMVs southbound I-5 at milepost 96. The driver is later ID'd by his DOL photo on file as Muhammad Ismail Idris, and
I object.
Both officers within the ID, despite multiple.
Mr. Idris, hold on, Ms. Mann. Mr. Idris, please let her finish.
Okay.
Let her finish. Go ahead, Ms. Mann.
Refused to provide both officers with an ID despite multiple requests by both officers. He was cited for operating a vehicle and refusing to comply with the police officer and released.
He was also charged with the infractions at that time?
Yes, Your Honor. And I have a probable cause for the special fuel trip permits violation as well, if you'd like.
Yes, why don't you give us that too?
On May 16th, 2023, Officer Turner observed a tractor trailer traveling south on I-5 near milepost 98, speeding and traveling in a restricted left lane. The officer made contact with the driver, who refused to identify himself, but was identified through his DOL photo on file as Muhammad Ismail Idris. While looking up his inspection history, it was revealed that the registration on the power unit had expired several months earlier and was revoked by the Washington State Department of Licensing. He was cited and released.
Is it my turn to speak?
All right, Mr. Idris, it's now your turn. Go ahead.
I object. I requested for continuous, and I was not informed if it was denied or granted. And I do not consent to being for the court to move forward. If you guys decide to move forward, I prefer physically present instead of a Zoom call. If you guys decide to continue.
And what's the basis of your objection again? Why you want a continuance?
The reason I need the continuance is out of the 3 cases, the case number, I only got 2 notices, not the third one. One is missing. And also I requested for discovery to the clerk of the court. And they said, I have to get hold of the prosecutor office. And I got hold of the prosecutor office. There's no email for me to request for the discovery. The only way is a phone number. When I called the phone number, nobody answered. So how can you guys continue without, I don't even have any discovery. So I don't know what's up against me. I don't have the details of the discovery.
Well, you've heard what's against you. Ms. Mann just repeated what she believes the state will be able to prove in this case.
There's not a proper notice.
Mr. Idris, hold on. It may be that the 2 infraction numbers appeared on the same document, case ending in 933 and case ending in 934, since they're both infractions. And then the second one would end in 205, which is a criminal charge. So that's a possibility. But based on your request to have this set over, we will set out the arraignment and you may appear in person. There's nothing stopping you from appearing in person.
Physically present.
Yes, in person. All right, although I believe there is probable cause been established, I'm not going to find that today to give Mr. Idris the opportunity to look at all these documents. And Ms. Mann, is there some better way for him to request the discovery in this case that he's talking about?
Not that I know of, Your Honor. I could check with my supervisor.
All right, go ahead. In the meantime, while we're looking for that information, Mr. Idris, I want to confirm a mailing address for you or for your estate. Let me check for a moment.
I object. I'm not a mister.
Pardon me?
I say I object. I want to make a correction. You called me mister. I'm not a mister. Mister is a title.
Is your address still on in Seattle, mailing address?
I don't have an address. I have a location, a private location I can only receive for mailing purposes only, for notices.
Is that a P.O. box in Tukwila?
That ends with
I'm seeing a P.O. box stated in Tukwila, Washington.
There's a dash at the end, 9998. There's 999 and 8. Those 4 digits is very important to put it on there.
So 8-888-9.
No.
I messed those last 4 up. What? What's next?
Like I said, I don't have an address. I have a private location where I can receive for mailing purposes only. And the only thing I will indicate is the last 4 digit after the end of the location, what ends 9998.
Is that a street address or a mailbox? Post office box.
That's my mailing location where I can receive notices only.
We can't address notice to you at 9998. I need more than that. What happens, Mr. Idris, is if you don't respond to this, there's going to be a warrant issued for your arrest. We have to give you notice first. That's what we're trying to get established here.
I object. Notices can be sent to me through my private email as
well. Are you going to give us that private email?
The court has it on file.
Your Honor.
Candace, do we have that?
Your Honor, good afternoon. This is DPA Tom Farrow. Before we proceed beyond this case, I'd like to address the court.
All right. I'm trying to get mailing address here. Mr. Idris, we have two addresses from the Department of Licensing. One is on Avenue in Seattle, and the other is a P.O. box in Tukwila. If you're not willing to provide us with your email address, we're going to just send notice to those two addresses.
I object. Again, I'm going to make a correction. I'm not a Mr., which is a title. If you can call me with my proper name, which is a family name and a given name, I'll appreciate that.
Yes, Muhammad Idris. We're going to send notice to those two addresses that we have.
You meant to say,
unless you give us something different.
You meant to say my family name, which is Idris.
All right, we're going to use that. That's what he sent to us, requesting information about court, correct? All right, looks like we do have an email address for you when you requested
just before we go on.
All right, Mr. Farrow, let's hear from you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was listening on the YouTube. I wanted to address the court just to highlight the fact that Mr. Idris was given the constitutionally required notice at the scene on at least two of these cause numbers. There are citations in the record. Those were handed to him, and he was advised of the upcoming court date. That's kind of my first point. So I think if the court wants to continue, I don't know when he was first scheduled for arraignment, but it looks like this has been going on for a little bit. If the court wants to continue on those two matters, I'm happy to. I mean, it says here, it's checked the box for the ticket was served on the violator. I'm happy. I guess I could send something to one of these email addresses, but I would also urge the court to note that if you look on Jabs, we've tried sending mail to Mr. Idris. It is not, or it's been returned. Finally, Your Honor, and I'm not trying to be silly about this, but I've sort of heard these arguments before in court, and I think I know where we're going with this. The state's not satisfied legally that the defendant in this case has appeared today. I think he's claiming to be some sort of representative for some sort of estate or trust or other nonsense. But based on Mr. Idris's failure to appear today, the state would request the court to issue a warrant in the amount of $10,000. Thank you, Your Honor.
I object. Everything he said is a hearsay, assumption, presumption, and tacit agreement. It has nothing to do with the facts. He's not telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And he was supposed to take a stand and write an affidavit. He's not doing any of that. He's just waiting for my silence, acquiescence. So I object to everything that he said.
All right, I understand that. Muhammad Idris, he makes a good point. If you're going to argue that you are a representative for Mr. Idris, Mr. Idris hasn't made a full appearance in court yet today, and therefore that would lead to the potential issuance of a bench warrant for your arrest for not showing up. So can we resolve that question at least, that Muhammad Idris has appeared for arraignment today?
I object. Again, it's what you're saying. Everybody in the court is saying is assumptions, presumptions, tacit agreement is a hearsay. You cannot use a hearsay or assumption and presumption in court. It's wrong information, and I object to all of that. And I am not a representative. Like I said I am authorized representative or an agent or an executor of the estate on behalf of the estate and trust.
And as I've indicated, the estate was not driving this commercial vehicle at the time these citations were issued. So I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to carry this on further, Mr. Idris.
Do you have a power of attorney for this matter to continue?
Do I?
Your power of attorney? Or the court or yourself?
Mr. Idris, I'm going to find the following. If you'll listen, I'm sorry, Muhammad Idris, if you'll listen, here's what I'm going to do.
I object.
I understand. Your objections have been noted. I'm finding probable cause today for the charges. I'm finding that Muhammad Idris did appear today even though he argued and objected that he was appearing on behalf of an estate or a trust, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty to these charges, and I'm going to set a pretrial hearing in this matter. Now, Mr. Idris, or Muhammad Idris, sorry, you may contact the prosecutor's office by writing. You have an email address that we have for you. We're going to send notice to the 2 addresses that Department of Licensing has, and the email address that you used when you contacted the court of when your next court date is going to be. Mr. Farrow and Ms. Mann, I'll ask you to look for any contact from Muhammad Idris so that the discovery that he is requesting can be provided to him for his next court date. All right. We're going to set a pretrial conference for August 23rd at 2:30. I'm sorry, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in this courtroom.
I object. If I prefer to be there physically present.
Come to court. You can do that. You do not have to be on Zoom. People come to court and have been here in court today.
That's why I asked for continuance. Why are you refusing my continuance? There is no proper notices. It's all based upon assumption and presumption in a hearsay.
You were given notice at the scene, as Mr. Farrow talked about on the infractions, and you were mailed notice.
That was not correct. Was he there? I was not given at the scene. He was not there. How can you accept his testimony? That's not, there's no affidavit, there's no witnesses.
Okay. Muhammad Idris, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you about this. I can accept the sworn testimony of the officer who testified that he, in his citation, that he presented those documents to you on the scene of the stop. So if you want to continue to raise those arguments when you come back to court on the 23rd, that's fine. You can do that at that time. But we're not going to entertain any further arguments on that matter today.
I object.
I understand. And that's noted in the court record.
Your Honor, I hate to be a pain, but again, I know where this case is headed. I have to object on the record that the person who claims to be some part of a state or whatever does not appear to be a licensed attorney and is thus not authorized to make objections on the record on behalf of any other party. If Mr. Idris would like to proceed pro se, I would ask that the court read or go through the pro se colloquy with him, but otherwise I would ask that his objections not be noted, and I would renew my request for a warrant. Thank you.
I object.
Thank you,
again.
Mr. Farrow.
I object again. What he said is not the facts. He's assuming.
Are you an attorney, Muhammad Idris? Are you an attorney? You licensed attorney in the state of Washington?
You haven't answered my question when I asked you, does the court have a power of attorney against this case? And all 3 of you guys refused to answer. And the prosecutor
I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is that you're asking.
You don't know what power of attorney is? You have to have a
It's got
power of
nothing to
attorney
do with the
continue.
criminal case.
It's a civil, it's not criminal. Is it not?
No, these are criminal charges. At least one of them is.
Who's the executor of the estate? on this
Mr.
case?
Idris, you're missing the point. You're setting yourself up for more trouble. As Mr. Farrow points out, in order for you to represent yourself, you take a great risk in this case. And essentially, that's what you're saying you're doing.
Everything is a trust, is it not?
I don't know. I have only your
administrating my
testimony to that effect.
You're forcing me without my consent to administrate my estate without my consent. So I object to that gentleman. I want to get his name. Is he the prosecutor for this case? What's his name?
Yes, Tom Farrow. Can you see his name on the screen?
Tom Farrow. Is he the prosecutor for this case?
I'm going to assume so. He's here talking about it.
And I'm going to need the discovery from him. When I called, how come nobody picked up the phone?
Well, I have no idea who you called and what the situation was. All right. So I'm finding probable cause in the case ending in 7205, refusing to comply with the police officer. Ms. Mann, do you have request on conditions of release?
I object. That's a hearsay.
For both, the state requests personal recognizance with no criminal law violations, no driving without valid license and insurance, Your Honor.
I object. The fact is not being indicated onto the record. Are we even on the record?
We are on the record. All of this is on the record. It'll be there for you to review if you choose to do that.
Is everything being recorded?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, the final thing I'll note for the record is even if this individual does reach out to the prosecutor's office, I'm not authorized to talk to a representative who's not an attorney, nor am I allowed to speak about a case with an individual who may or may not be represented and who certainly hasn't indicated that he intends to proceed pro se today. So I'm just at a bit of a loss here.
I object.
Understand that.
I'm not the decedent.
Idris, you're attempting to create a roadblock that there seems to be no way around. Mr. Farrow makes a good point.
Is he saying I'm the decedent? Is that what he's saying? Does he have a proof that I'm the decedent of the estate?
Mr. Muhammad Idris, are you representing yourself today in this case? Are you going to represent yourself on August 23rd when you come back to court?
It's impossible to represent myself, is it not?
No, it is possible. It's not necessarily a wise choice to represent yourself, but it's possible. Do you understand that you are, if you represent yourself, you are held to the same standards that an attorney is held to in terms of understanding the law and procedures of court if you choose to represent yourself?
I object again. Is the court using my bond? Where is the appearance bond and the bid bond? I do not understand. I do not comprehend, and I wish not to proceed.
Under those circumstances, Muhammad Idris, you should contact an attorney to give you some advice as to how to proceed in this matter.
I object. Where is my bond? I need my bond back. I need my bid bond. Or I'll write one and overnight it. Where is my bid bond? And who is the highest bidder of the case?
All right, on this case, State of Washington versus Muhammad Ismail Idris, case number 3A0257-205 WSP, charges vehicle operator refusing to comply with a police officer. I'm entering a plea of not guilty to that charge. I am finding probable cause, first of all, on that charge. I am entering a plea of not guilty to that charge. It's obvious from Muhammad Idris's responses, he doesn't want to enter a plea of guilty to this charge today. We're not going to allow him to frustrate the procedure of the court by taking an irresponsible position like this. The conditions on your release, you are released on what's called your personal recognizance. That's your promise to return to court. Your court date is going to be August 23rd. We're going to send you notice to the 2 addresses that we have from the Department of Licensing, and also to the email address that you contacted this court about. While you are waiting for that August 23rd court date, you are not to commit any new criminal law offenses,
I object.
and you're not to drive without license and insurance.
I object.
Your next court date is going to be,
I need more time. August 23rd is not enough.
it's plenty of time for court here. So we're going to do it on August the 23rd
I object.
at 2 p.m.
How can a trustee tell an executor what to do? Because I'm occupying the office of the executor.
This is not a civil matter. It's a criminal matter. I am not going to.
I am the executor and beneficiary of the trust, am I not? You're the
I
trustee.
have no idea.
The prosecutor, this
Not an
trustee.
issue for this court. Mr. Farrow, I'm not going to issue a bench warrant today. I don't know how to answer the question that you've raised, which I think is a good one, about your ability to provide response to Mr. Idris's request for discovery.
I'm not
I
Mr.
don't have the answer to that. So, Mr. Idris, you're able to get the order that I've just signed from the Thurston County District Court website under the cause number. Let me find it. 3A0257205. Your next court date will be the 23rd of August at 2 o'clock, and you are certainly welcome to be here in person on that day. Thank you, Mr. Idris.
I will
That's all
not be
for
there in
today.
person.
Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
I am Larry Matthews Bay.
Thank you.
I don't believe the computer has Bay. It's just Larry Matthews.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, shit. The court-appointed attorney is still working for me?
No, sir. I'm going to let her know that you declined my representation.
Okay. So you haven't discussed anything about the case with her yet?
I'm not going to discuss the case at all. You asked me not to.
Okay.
No, we haven't talked about it. I haven't even called it yet, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Now calling 20F55085. This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Larry Michael Matthews Jr., also known as Larry Matthews Bay, police agency, police agency report number 2090732. Attorney Reiser, your appearance.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Okay, thank you. So this is a complaint for felony non-support. It charges that on or about or between the dates of December 1st, 2010 through September 30th of 2013, you did not pay support for your child in the amount or at the time stated in an order entered by the Washtenaw County Circuit Court in file number 1996-005563-DP. This is a felony with a maximum potential penalty of up to 4 years in jail, a $2,000 fine plus court costs or both. Do you understand all of that?
No, I have a question. Is this a criminal case or a civil case?
It's being charged as felony non-support, criminal case.
So who is the injured party?
Okay, sir, when I ask if you understand what you're being charged with, I'm not asking if you agree with it or even if you understand why. I'm asking if you comprehend the words coming out of my mouth. So.
I don't understand it because for it to be criminal, then it needs to be an injured party, and I need to speak and see the injured party in the criminal case.
And this is an arraignment where I am telling you what you're being charged with. If
Okay,
you do not comprehend the charge against you, then you can go to the door and tell the jail that you're finished, and they can try arraigning you again tomorrow. As I stated, I'm not asking if you agree with the charge or even if you understand why you're being charged with it. What we are doing today is telling you what you are being charged with and what the potential penalty is.
all right,
Okay, so you are being charged with failing to pay child support.
okay.
Is that something that you understand or comprehend?
I comprehend it.
All right. And do you also comprehend the potential penalty here being up to 4 years in jail, a $2,000 fine plus court costs, or both?
I do. I
Thank you.
comprehend
No.
what is the punishment for that crime.
Thank you, sir. So, as I stated, this is a felony. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say out loud or in writing can be used against you in court. You have the right to be presumed innocent beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a trial by judge or by jury. You have the right to be represented by an attorney during all stages of these court proceedings. That is before, during, and after trial. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed for you, although my understanding is that you have refused the services of the public defender today. So you are not required to disclose citizenship status to the court. You do have the right to consult with an attorney to see if this case would have any effect on your citizenship status. If that part doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. Do you have any questions about your rights?
No questions.
Okay, thank you. So because, as I stated, this is a felony, you have the right in this case to a preliminary examination that must be scheduled within the next 21 days. A preliminary examination is a hearing. Excuse me. A preliminary examination is a hearing held before a judge where the prosecution must present sufficient testimony and evidence to establish that probable cause exists to believe that a crime has been committed, and that probable cause exists to believe that you committed the crime. So that is a hearing to determine whether or not the case is strong enough to go to trial. If the court determines that the case is strong enough, then it will be bound over. That is transferred to the circuit court, which is where your actual trial will take place.
Okay.
Prior to the preliminary examination, the court will schedule a probable cause conference. That is a hearing and an opportunity for your attorney to meet with the prosecution to discuss your case for any potential issues or resolutions. Your probable cause conference will be March 26th, 2026. That will be at 9 in the morning in person at the 14A1 District Court in Courtroom C. 14A1 is the courthouse that's located basically above where you are right now at the jail.
Okay, can I grab a pen so I can write this down?
You're going to get paperwork.
Okay.
So the court is going to set bond. Bond is set in all cases. The purpose is two things. One is to ensure your appearance at future court dates. The other is for the protection of the public. I will note that this being a felony failing to pay child support case, that there is a statutorily required bond that is 25% of the amount that is claimed to be owing. And give me just a second because I'm looking up what that amount is, because the copy that I have here is illegible. So, Attorney Reiser, did you want to address bond?
Your Honor, I typically in these cases ask for an amount equivalent to the amount that is outstanding or substantially close to the amount. I am trying to read what that is also. It looks like $67,218.49.
Yes. I was hoping that there would be something in JIS about it, and there is not.
So given that high amount, I would ask for $50,000.
The warrant that was placed. May I have a copy of that signed warrant also? Because from my understanding, that warrant was placed in 2020, and I went to court in 2021 in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, in Rutherford County Court. I was subpoenaed to go to court.
Okay.
Because I live in Tennessee. I did appear to that court hearing, and a judge ruled in that hearing and sent paperwork to you. I sent paperwork, certified mail, to ensure that you received it. And I was not aware of any warrants for my arrest.
All right. So let me clarify this. One, I was not a magistrate in 2020, so I have none of the paperwork to which you are referring. The child support case would be up at the circuit court, so I do not have a copy of that regardless. And being that this is a weekend arraignment, the only thing that I have in front of me right now is the felony warrant and some other related documentation to that. So I have none of the paperwork that you're talking about.
The felony warrant was signed and dated when?
August 14th of 2020.
Right. So, you know, at this point, I've been dragged away from my family, my 13-year-old son, my business. My son, Uriel Miller, was killed January 12th of 2025. And this month, the trial for his murderer is starting, and I'm stuck here in jail. My wife is going to have to go into that courtroom to face the killer of our son by herself. I am not a flight risk. I went to that court date on September 9th of 2021. That docket number was 21 C as in cat, V as in Victor, 820.
So, sir, my condolences for your loss. There's not really anything that I can say about other than to offer my condolences there. What I will say is that as magistrate doing a weekend arraignment, I'm statutorily required at this point to set the minimum 25% bond on the felony non-support matter. So I am setting your bond in the amount of $18,000 cash or surety.
Okay.
Okay. You post $18,000 to get out. Your next court date, as I said, is going to be March 26th. And you are free to consult with an attorney between now and that court date. But your hearing this morning is concluded. You are free to go to the door and tell the jail that you are finished.
Okay, I have one more question.
Yes.
Concerning receiving documents and paperwork while I'm in this jail, what is the process for that?
You're going to have to talk to the people who work in the jail.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not threatening you. Say one more word and that's 30 days. 30 days.